Welcome to the Raider Fan Podcast. I'm your host, Cliff Orton, and let's get into this week. The Raiders went down to the Indianapolis Colts and put on an embarrassment. I read all the emails. I've been on a lot of the chat boards, and it's absolutely horrific of what's being said, and it's called for. You know, I wish I could defend the Raiders. I wish I could defend the coaching staff, Geno Smith, but it's bad when you put a performance the way that they did. You lose 40-6, and there's a lot of talent on this Raiders team. I'm just not understanding it fully of where these mistakes are coming from. But I will say it starts with the quarterback position. I've been saying this for a few weeks now. Geno Smith needs to go. He needs to be benched. We need to bring someone else in. He is absolutely single-handedly destroying this program. He's, in his own words, he's not reading coverage as well, which I'm amazed with this man's experience in the NFL, that you're having trouble seeing these coverages. You're having trouble reading the coverages. They're disguising it where you don't recognize it. And it makes a lot of sense. You're throwing, into the flats in cover two. I mean, that's just, if you know football, you don't throw, you just don't make that throw. The Raiders offensively, defensively, and special teams just got handed one. And it all starts and ends with the head coach, Pete Carroll. I think he's lost control of his team. I know that it's a process. I know that he can't come in and just change everything to make it, to make the Raiders a lot better than what they are. But This is a bad performance, and if it was getting better, I would say trust the process. If each week, the Raiders were doing good, there was some type of improvement here or there, I would say that's fine. It's trust the process. We're getting better, but we're actually getting worse. Geno Smith, I think, is the 28th ranked quarterback. That's not gonna get it done. Another 2-interception game with 0 touchdowns. He didn't even look like he knew what he was doing. He was very uncomfortable in the pocket, trying to not make a mistake, and then he goes and he makes a mistake. It's bad when your head coach on an interception is making excuses where, well, it should have been called offsides. Well, I mean, yeah, it's neither here or there, but, we're continuously throwing interceptions. We're continuously putting the defense in bad positions. It was just a bad performance. I mean, Geno Smith went 25 for 36, 228 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. What's that, a 38.5 QBR rating, which is not good. Ashton Genty, 14 for 67 yards. You got to give this guy the ball. Yeah, you got to run the ball, but you can't be behind either. We were in the game in the beginning, but turnovers, miscues, once again hurt the Raiders. The fan base is getting impatient because this is a continuous trend where we bring in another head coach thinking he's going to turn it around. I even thought, hey, Pete Carroll's going to come in. He's going to change the system. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He's been successful, but he's having a difficult time with the Raiders. Chip Kelly, to be honest, I don't even know what this offense is. Is it a running team? Is it a passing team? I know that we rely on the tight ends a lot, but I mean, you got 2 of them out. We have to make adjustments, second half adjustments, team adjustments, player adjustments are just not there. I don't think that this coaching staff is what this team needs. We need excitement, but more importantly, we need a coach that's going to come in and be able to help with the players. We got Max Crosby, who's just a beast, and these defensive players are feeding off of that. But it's deflating when the offense can't do anything. It's deflating when you go down 10-3. Then next thing you know, it's 26-3, 32-3. It's deflating. It's deflating as a player. It's deflating as a fan base. Raiders have one of the best fan bases in the sport, but this is getting old. A lot of people. I'm on the East Coast, so when the New England Patriots are doing better than you, it's kind of sad. Because they're on a rebuild, but they rebuild, without Tom Brady. They're rebuilding kind of quickly with Josh McDaniels, Mike Vrabel. They brought in coaches that are going to make a difference. Geno Smith is just not the quarterback. Yeah, I know Aiden O'Connell's hurt, but, try Pickens. I would have brought in Pickens in the game. You lost the game. So bring him in, get him some experience, see what he can do. I think Geno Smith needs competition, and I just don't think he's the guy. He doesn't have confidence. He looks bad in the pocket. So I don't know what the Raiders are gonna do. I mean, this division was up in the air, but you got Denver playing good, KC's rebounding, and the Chargers are struggling a little bit. This was a must-win, in my opinion, for the Raiders to at least get back to where we need to be. I heard the press conference with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. It's a process. It's it's how we're gonna continue to grow each week. But I was surprised to hear Pete Carroll saying, "I kept the plays in there so we can continue to practice." Game time is not for practice. Make practice like it's a game, so when they go out to the game, it's a lot easier. I wish I had better answers. I lost a lot of confidence in this program. I'm a big Raider. I'm a diehard Raider fan. I host the Raider Fan Podcast, and I live in Rhode Island. I'm on the East Coast where it's Patriots everywhere, and I'm always repping the Raider Nation. But it's a difficult time right now. Once again, the Raiders are having a pretty hard time. Winning games, being competitive. Now, next week, the only good thing about this week, it's over, and now we're on to Tennessee. But that's not going to be a walk in the park, So, hopefully they can rebound. I'm really hoping that they put a different quarterback in and get first team reps, because if Geno Smith continues to throw picks, then you got to pull him for the sake of the program. You got to pull him for the sake of the fans. And for the defense, they're at some point they're gonna have an issue where you're gonna start losing the locker room, because the defense is doing really good except for this week. So it's gonna be interesting. Leave your comments in the comment section of what you think the state of the Las Vegas Raiders are right now. I think they're in big trouble. I think they're on a slope going down. I'm hoping that they can turn it around, because I'm a big Raider fan, and I love to see my Raiders get back to what they need to be, but I lost a lot of confidence, so I'm hoping to see some type of improvement. But leave your comments. Let me know where you're from. Let me know that you're listening to the podcast. But more importantly, tell me what your thoughts of the state of the Raiders right now. I say that they're in trouble. So until next time, let's go Raiders.